Hello, good morning. Today's Monday, the 26th of July, and I'm doing well. I should apologize, I guess, to myself, really, for, not being diligent about keeping up on these daily journals. I think about it, but I'm not doing as well as I would like to. But then again, I don't really have that much to talk about every single day. So I will forgive myself, I guess. I'm in a new place. I'm in New Orleans. And we got here yesterday and we'll be here for a week. This is, I guess, leg 2, technically, of our road trip. We were in Atlanta for a week, and we're going to be in New Orleans for a week. But we left Atlanta on Saturday and went to, I think it's Amite, Louisiana. I have a friend that has a ranch there, and we were invited to stay there for Saturday and yesterday, until we came here. And that was nice. We had a good time. My friend has a 100-acre ranch that he built, a really nice home in the woods. And we just got to experience some good country living. We rode ATVs around the property through the woods and practiced shooting rifles and just trying to embrace our inner country girl, which we're not, but we're trying to make that connection. So it was nice. I really enjoyed the company. I really enjoyed the peace, the tranquility of where we were. So that was really nice. My daughter is with me and she enjoyed it as well. My friend who where we were staying with, it's a person that I met through an organization that I used to be a part of years ago, the Young Presidents Organization. And I think I must have met him. I went to a Black YPO event many moons ago. I mean, it was probably more than 11 years ago. And we were in Jamaica, and so we met there at that event. And I was just always like, oh, this is really a great person, and they live in New Orleans, and when I get back to New Orleans, I'm going to figure out, how to make a connection. So over the years, I would see them on Facebook, with their family, going out on the boat and riding ATVs and doing different things. And so it just seemed like, oh, wow, you guys have such a good, fun life. Good people, and it would be nice to be able to connect. So me knowing that I was coming to New Orleans, I hit this friend up and was immediately met with, oh, hey, we'll host you, love to host you for a day. So that was really nice. And so it was very, very, very enjoyable. I made this pledge to myself to live intentionally every single day, and for sure in 2021. So doing really, really good on some intention. Excuse me. And not as well on some others, but on the ones that I am doing well on, kudos to me. But some of those are, to be intentional about embracing positivity, waking up in the morning focused on gratitude, saying my prayers, and really just being thankful, and, asking, basically placing all my cares, things that I might worry about, not being afraid to ask God, hey, please help me take care of this, and please help me take care of that, and, keep us safe on our journey, and, praying for other people, all those types of things. So I do these things every day, and I get up in the morning and I do yoga, and I do, different exercise, just to, again, focus on positivity, and just to start the day with a good mindset, good energy, just doing the things for myself that I believe are good and will get me started off on a good day. And that these I'm going to call them rituals, daily rituals that I have, really help to keep me calm and content, and put me in a position to just really be present and appreciate each moment, and to not sweat the small stuff, because there's always going to be something that happens or that you experience that's not necessarily the most pleasant thing. But because I do these rituals every day, and I'm really focused on positivity, then I'm noticing more and more that I am very much able to focus on the positive as opposed to what may have gone wrong. So I am grateful today to be here, to be standing, to be in my right mind, to have no problems, to be able to make this video. Is Saturday, we got to our friends, and my friend's son was there, and was like, oh, hey, you guys want to go ride ATVs? I'll take you around. And so he was, making sure that we knew, how to turn the stuff on and how to shift gears. Excuse me, how to go faster, all the stuff just from an operational standpoint, and then showed us around. So we followed him, and we had a good time. But I did something, I can't remember what it was. I don't know if I was riding and went over a bump, and just, because I was holding on, with both handles on this ATV. I don't know if I, did something where I was, stretching, or or I went over a bump, and because my hand, was on the handlebars or whatever, it came back and hit me right here. I think it might have just hit me. And so I've got this pain that's on my, kind of on my side, in rib cage. And so it was just uncomfortable. So it makes putting my arm up, excuse me, a little more challenging. It made yoga a little more challenging, but I still did it. And even though I was feeling sore, when we got up on Sunday and I got through, my morning routine, my daughter's like, oh, Eli's not here, but I think we can handle these ATVs. Let's go on the ATV. And I wanted to go, but it's 100 acres, and I didn't want to get lost. So I'm just like, I'm only going to stay where I'm relatively close to the house, and make sure I stay on the property line. So they've got a fence that goes around, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay here and not get too far away. And so my daughter and I went at the same time, and I guess where I wanted to be in an open space, she felt more comfortable going in the woods. And so she went one way and I went the other way. And as I was going along my way, I got a little bit nervous because there are these, I guess you would call them a trough or something, which is a dip, where like it goes like this, and it might have water in it, it might be really muddy, and I guess there was a couple of them, and in me trying to avoid one, I went another way and I hit another one, and I guess that one is one that's really hard to pass, and so I went over it, and as I went over it, it must have, the my ATV kind of went like this, and so I felt myself falling. It kind of threw me off, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to let myself go off this thing. And so I fell off of it into the mud and rolled over, and this thing rolled over, and it kind of almost rolled over me, and I was like, oh my God, please don't let it hit my head. And it probably got maybe like this, was like maybe like this far away from hitting my head. And so, I got up, I was completely, I really fell in the mud. It was this muddy water. And I stood up and I was like, oh my gosh, I lost my phone. And so I'm like walking through this muddy water trying to see if I could feel for my phone. And I couldn't find it. And I look at the ATV, and the ATV is, flipped over onto the side. And I was just like, oh God, like, what have I done here? And what do I do? And I'm just like, I really hope I didn't lose my phone. I was happy that I was like alive, I wasn't hurt, I was able to get up. And I was able to get the ATV on its rights, on off its side, and get it set up properly. But I couldn't get it to start again. And I really believe that I couldn't get it to start again because if I had driven away and I hadn't found my phone, then I wouldn't know where to go look for my phone, because I didn't have any way to like mark the spot or anything like that. And so once I couldn't find it, when I couldn't get the ATV started, I started walking back towards the house. And I guess at the same time, Gabrielle must have thought like, oh, hey, my mom didn't follow me. I'm like going all over the place. I wonder where she went. I haven't seen her in a long time. So she started riding back towards where I was, and I saw her, I'm waving at her. And, she came up, and I was like, hey, I lost my phone. Can you call my phone? And so she called it, and I could hear it. And it turned out that it actually must have fallen out before I fell in the mud, because it didn't go in the water or anything. It was just kind of off to the side. So I found it. And so I was like, okay, thank you, Jesus. And, then I was like, yeah, I can't get the ATV started. And she's like, oh, well, David showed me how to do it, how to start it. I'll start it, So she gets off of hers and she goes and she starts mine right away, and she pulls it out of the trough and brings it over, and she's like, okay, you ready to go? And I was like, yeah. And I got back on, and she was kind of laughing at me because I literally was covered in mud. My hair was all muddy, my face was all muddy, and every aspect of my being, from head to toe, front and back, was completely covered in mud. I was a muddy mess. And I also was thinking that we had a conversation the night before, and David was talking about that he liked to garden, and he's just like, there are just some things that are just natural, and like playing in the mud is a natural thing. It's, getting your hands dirty, it's great. And my daughter was agreeing, and I was just thinking, I was like, I hate the mud. I don't like to get dirty. I don't like playing in the mud. And I was thinking about my mother, because she really likes to garden. She's like, I really love just, getting my hands in the mud, and it's great. And I've never really felt any enjoyment in that.